Hey, good morning, Clever Models fans, paper model builders. My hair is just completely out of control. Anyway, this is episode 13, and it's probably going to be a fairly short one. I want to keep going on letting you know what's going on with the Pickle Ricks, or Rick's Pickles. I'm sure Pickle Ricks is copyright. I can't use that. Anyway, I need a shave. But anyway, I wanted to show you where I'm going with it. The first half of the model, which is the office, which you saw most of last time, is done, and I've got it right here. It is built rather in a rush. So, and I've got a window in front of my face at the moment. Anyway, we're gonna see if you can see what I'm doing here as I get the model up. Here we go. Okay, so what I've done is I've added the deck that the building is going on, so you can see what that looks like. Okay, we'll try to get a better picture. Now, as I said, I'm not doing any dimensionalizing. I'm not doing any of the extras. I'm just building it out to make sure that the parts fit. And what you can see here is also maybe some of the changes I've made. What I primarily want to show you is the roof line. If you've seen some early pictures of it, you would not have seen this roof line. This was an afterthought, and I liked it, so I made the changes. As a matter of fact, on the screen is the old picture. Hold on. If you can see what the model looked like before I started test building it. Okay, and there have been a couple of changes. So let me tell you what those changes are, and then we'll move on from there. First of all, the method I'm using for building the deck is different. On the sheets, you'll see that the cross beams. Okay, let's see the cross beams there, right there, are printed as they are. That is, they're not dimensional in any way. You can see the back side of this. Hold on, let's see if we can show you the back side. They're not printed on the back. So if you want to have image on the back, you're going to have to use the supplied double image. There are images in the kit that you can back that up with, so you can do them front to back and have images. But furthermore, what we've done, let's see if I have an example here. While the cross braces, it's all one piece, to give it some dimension, let's find the right piece here. Yeah, here's an example piece. To give it some dimension, I have done a cross beam and a bottom beam. There you can also see the backs, which is unfinished. Okay. What I'm showing you here is a part of the shed that's going to have the pickle barrels. And rather than build the entire thing dimensionally, this cross beam on top is dimensional. There is an extra sheet piece on the bottom. So while I thought it would be easier to construct if you used the image given as a template and then put the beams on top of it, so that you would build a more robust piece. Let's see. First of all, this is Coffee with Clever Models. I gotta have a sip. All right, that's good. So the templates I'm talking about, I'm trying to get your picture here, look like that. Okay. So the beam gets folded. It's right there on top of it. Gets folded. That gets applied to the top of the printed grid. There we go. And also another big change, a big change that I made from this image. All right, if you can see it, is that originally the shed, let's see if we can move that over here, was a separate piece. Okay, so this building is separate and it doesn't have the drop down roof, right? That's one change. The second change is this piece here, this shed, the roof and the sides were separate. It was a separate building, and then the deck in the center was a separate piece. So the deck and the barrels would be separate, and then this would just go over the top. Well, as I'm building, I'm going like, oh, that's kind of confusing. I think it's not. So I came up with this. I'm going to try and hold it up. Okay, this incorporates the beams for the deck and the outer shed into one piece. This is how the kit's going to actually be, or already is, because I've already made the change. So it is this way, right? And I think that looks a lot better, right? So we're going to go for that. Now you'll see there's a little gray area on the bottom. That's where the walk path, which I have here. So I'm going to try and get it. Let's see. Is incorporated. Here it is. Now there are two pieces to this, right? It's got a front and a back. And the back, you will see, has indicators for where it goes and hooks up to the deck. All right. Well, the coffee is right here. See, it's right there on the side. I've been drinking it. Anyway, this is a problematic piece. Two pieces of 60-pound, make it about 120. So it's nice and stiff. But if you're not careful gluing it, my first one, I was trying a new glue, water-based glue, which I like. Hold on. Let's see if I can get it. Here we go. This stuff, which is kind of a white glue, right? And I actually like it. It grabs very quickly. I just got it at the art store. I think it was $1 or something. It was on sale. It was in a bin or whatever. But it's water-based. So unless you're you smooth it out. You put the glue on and you take a squeegee and you smooth it, and then put the back together. Put the two pieces together. Put them in a weighted thing. I put mine in a book. Didn't quite do the job. But if you don't do that, it's going to be wavy, right? It's going to be very wavy. This is the second one that I built, which I did with super glue, ACC, whatever, right? And this one came out dead flat. Also put it in a book, so I glued it, I spread the glue, I put it together, and it came out, it dried quickly, and it's dead flat. Now, do not judge my cutting skills from this. It's really bad. I was in a bad way on that day. Anyway, but I didn't care because, once again, this is just a test model to be put together to make sure it's got all the parts. And I'm glad I've done it because I'm making a lot of changes. Okay, let's put that over here. So on this sheet, as is indicated, this is the top half of a sheet out of my printer. Okay, you can see I put in an illustration of of how it looks put together. That's the shed as it was. So I have to do a new illustration of the shed as it now is. Right, so we're going to do it. The X underneath it is the layout pattern for the cross beam. And it's not that hard to build, right? There's the cross beam right there. And it sits across the top of a lintel, so that's two separate pieces. The legs are two separate pieces. This part of the kit has a lot of lumber. This is not hard to do, and you can see it looks good, right? Even with my sloppy construction, and sloppy construction or not, it's all square, it's all plumb, it looks good. So don't be freaked out by those folding those together. They work really well. So go for that, right? Anyway, as I said, I'm pulling this back up. Here's the front of the kit. I added a stack. I actually added the stairway at the back, which on this version, excuse me, is a bit wide. Okay? And I'm sorry I'm using the phone again. The computer hasn't been available. My dear partner is starting a business, and it's taking all the bandwidth. Now you can see it's flat; it's not built out. Still looks pretty good, right? That would still look good on your layout. So that's that. Okay, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to show you where we were going with it. Next time, hopefully, I will show you the completed shed and, you know, whatever other changes there are going to be. And as always, it's the changes doing the test builds that kind of hold things up. This model technically is ready to go. Kit. What is the date range for this? I don't know, Dad. What is the date range for this? 1900s? Well, yeah, it's probably from the 1900s up to, I would say, up into the 60s, because these structures last a long. The business, it probably lasted as long as the business. When the business would go under, that's when things would start to decay and all that. A little known fact: Chicago actually did a lot of pickle business. Not like this. This is more rural. This is more like attached to a farm or something like that. But the business of it was all well into the 20th century, and I think you would find buildings like this, although not in a city setting, you'd find them around. Now, an interesting thing too, my shed has 6 barrels for brine. All right. Well, there probably would have been many more than that in a large commercial venture. As you can see here, if I can show it to you in my crowded little desktop here, let's see if I can get both pictures on screen here. This is going to be very flexible as far as how you arrange the buildings. Okay, let's see if I can see what I can see here. There's 2 here. One, with one showing them on one side, one showing them on the other. Obviously, let's get this. You can add a lot more sheds. 2 or 3 sheds would make it look like a much larger business. Put fences around it, whatever, truck areas, things like that. But this is the basic kit. The basic kit, of course, can be easily expanded, and you can have as many sheds as you want, and that's how that's going to go. But pretty much that's what I'm going for right now. All right. So, all right. Back to biggest change. Don't know how I'm going to illustrate it yet. We'll find a way. Sorry for the shaky telephone. All right. Anyway, this is Coffee with Clever Miles. You guys have a great day. I think this will be out in a month or less. I don't know anything about the next freebie. Actually, we've been making so many freebies. I'm out of ideas. So if you've got ideas, send me an email. Okay, send me a mail saying, hey, this is what we'd like to see for a freebie, and I'll see what I can do. All right, we're in the I'm sure we're in the 70s or 80s right now as far as the magic number is concerned. I haven't looked at it yet this morning, but it's coming. A couple weeks, we'll have to have another freebie. So you guys be good, have fun, and we will see you later. That is, if I can close this, because I kind of never really figured